Flame in the Flood is a strategy game with a rafting mechanic. The game takes place in a dystopian future where the world has flooded and most of the land is underwater. It is a picture of the future that is a little too close for comfort. As you journey through the game, you are required to gather food and crafting materials and make your way through 10 locations that gradually increase in difficulty. The game bounces between foraging and exploring for items and rafting through the rapids of the flooded world. During the foraging sections, you make your way through the abandoned towns left over from the flood. You find food and water and other items, and you can combine them together in the crafting menu, making things like dandelion tea, braided cord, warmer clothing, and anything else that will help you survive in the wilderness. You have to maintain your food, water, heat, and sleep bars to ensure your character survives. During the rafting sections, you're required to weave your way through obstacles, ensuring that your raft doesn't take too much damage lest you sink below the waves. You're incentivized to travel close to the land, as there are items you can pick up, as well as locations that you can camp at to continue foraging. You have to be careful that you have enough materials to make your way through each leg of the rafting journey, as you will be unable to stop and rest until you find another campsite. Flame in the Flood feels like the Oregon Trail rafting section blown up into a full game. The game has a very interesting art style, and although it is strange at first, it will grow on you and helps to set the dark tone of the game. Along with the visuals, the limited plot as you uncover clues as to what happened to the world and its survivors is dark and gritty. Flame in the Flood has a slight roguelike mechanic. Some of your storage persists over different runs, and you can use those slots to hold items that you feel are important. As you play the game more, you come to realize which items are more valuable than others, and instead of storing food and water, you will begin to store animal traps or raft upgrades. The rafts can be upgraded in scope. You can add rudders, engines, a cooking section, increased raft storage, which helps you make your way through the rapids and running water of the game. The story mode might take you a handful of runs and some hours to complete, and after you're finished, there is an endless mode that you can play indefinitely. The endless mode is where the game really shines. You can raft forever, testing yourself against the elements and seeing how long you can survive. Flame in the Flood features some of the most brutal injury and death animations that I've ever seen in a game. And although it's not as violent as something like Gears of War, as you slowly die of thirst and crawl your way back to your raft, you can really feel the impending doom towering over you. The wolves and other animals you find in the game are no laughing matter and can easily end a run as you try to escape being part of the food chain. I think Flame in the Flood does a good job with immersion and mood, balancing this dark tone with bright, happy acoustic guitar music that will be cued as the sun rises and the game cycles between day and night, or to signify when you've reached a new area. As you journey through the different locations, there is a real satisfying sense of progression. The unique locations also have their own challenges. Some have limited campsite and foraging locations, and others have increased obstacles like rapids or moving debris in the water. In the end, when your raft crashes or your character dies of starvation, you're presented with a map showing you all the twists and turns you took along your journey. One final marker of your path through the flood. Overall, Flame in the Flood is an excellent strategy game, and I recommend playing it. Thanks for listening.